Welcome to Beyond Broken Hungry. Juggling your career, relationships, nutrition, fitness, finance, try to pursue your dreams, and stay sane can be a bit of a struggle. With the help of expertise from a variety of wellness experts and tips and tricks from everyday people, this podcast is here to share it all to make this journey we call life just a little more balanced. I'm stumbling towards wellness right alongside you, and I'm so happy to have you come along this journey. With that in mind, let's jump into this week's episode of Beyond Broken Hungry. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Beyond Broken Hungry. I'm your host, Dara Sweat, and it's episode 50. 50. You would think I would have more episodes, given the fact that I started doing this podcast in 2020. But hey, you know, we do what we can. We got blogs, we got recipes, we got podcasts. Sometimes we have people on here. Sometimes y'all just get to listen to me. But I'm pretty stoked. This is a pretty big milestone considering the fact that this is something that I just do as a passion on the side, while I have 2 full-time jobs, a couple side jobs, and some side hustles. So yay me, pat on the back. So yeah, by the time you guys hear this, I will have been on my 9th bachelorette. Hopefully the last one for a while. Although, listen, I'm so stoked that my friends love me enough to want me to be next to them on their most special day. But I cannot tell you how tired I am of the phrase, I can't do that. I have a bachelorette, wedding, bridal shower, etc. coming out of my mouth. Like I literally, like, the last couple of months, like since I've been saying it, I'm literally cringing because I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so tired of saying this. But I am the maid of honor in this one. And I'm glad that it's like my 9th wedding and I get to claim the highest honor of bridesmaid because I have all the insight and perspective. I'm like a seasoned bridesmaid. I should probably put that on my resume, like Dara Sweat, professional bridesmaid. So I get to bring all of that knowledge and insight to the table. Plus it's for my like best friend. So she gets the creme de la creme. You know what I'm saying? Even though she is as type A as I am. So like literally every time I'm like, what do I need to do? She's like, oh, I already did it. And I'm like, oh, okay. So it's fine. Outside of that, I will be competing in GSC's Lioness competition on the 15th of this month. So I'm just kind of getting ready for that. This will be my first competition of this year. Obviously the Open was supposed to be my first one, but then I got the flu. So I did not get to perform to the best of my abilities for any of those workouts, which is fine. You can't help getting sick, but I'm excited about this one because as long as I don't get hurt between now and then, knock on wood, say a prayer. It should be good. It's partner workouts, and I'm partnered with a girl, Brittany, that her and I always do the partner workouts together when we're in the same workout, and it's like a partner workout, so we work really well together. And she always pushes. She's like that. You know, you have that one person in your gym that like always pushes you to like want to do better, and like you like look over at her or look over at him, and you're like, what's he doing? What's she doing? Like, how is she doing? And how she's moving? Like, you know, she's kind of that person that motivates me to like want to move better and all that. So I'm really stoked to be her partner. But as far as that goes, that's that. And then update on my home remodels. Woosah. It's officially been over 6 months that my neighbor has been working on one bathroom that he, by the way, said that he would complete both my bathrooms by the end of January. So pretty much my mom and her friends started working on my second bathroom downstairs. I think I mentioned that in the last episode. And, you know, life happens, but it's a 3-hour round trip for them to come, and they've gotten more accomplished in the 2 times that they've been here than the 6 months that my neighbor has had to work on my one bathroom. And I pretty much told him, I was like, once the downstairs bathroom is done, you have 2 more weeks and I'm just going to pay you for what you've done. And he's like, that won't be necessary. And I'm like, well, I would love to know like what your timeline is because you were supposed to have both my bathrooms done by the end of January and we are now at the end of March. So pretty much, he's got 1 more month. The end of April is the last bit, regardless of if my downstairs bathroom is done or not, because I would rather just have my mom's friend finish it, even though people that do tile work don't like to do that. But I don't like to be in a house that I can't use any of my showers in, especially when I was told, you know, that I would have it done in a certain time frame. And, you know, I understand, you know, life happens, things happen, you know, all that jazz. But it's not like my neighbor's doing this for free. He's not doing me a favor. I'm still paying him. I have not paid him the other half of what he's charging me to. And he asked me for it like 2 months ago. And I was like, you can get paid the rest when you finish my bathroom. So kind of like Karen Dara has to come out right now. And I don't really like that. So I get like super shaky and nervous every time I talk to him. But, you know, like I'm paying my mortgage, I'm paying my HOA and all my other house bills for a house that I can't even live in at the moment. Like I don't have a shower in my house. So I have to stay at Doug's house. I'm basically living at Doug's house right now. And he's not asking me to pay anything to him because he knows that I'm in this situation. But it's like, that's just not fair. So I would like to enjoy what I spend the majority of my income on. But it is what it is. Maybe next year, you know? I don't know. We'll see. But enough about me. Let's get into today's topic of spring cleaning. So before I dive into the kind of points I have on that, going back to my bathroom. So my house has been obviously a mess with construction going on. I just had to get my AC replaced. So there was like dust and insulation everywhere. And it was getting to the point, like I come back to my house to work for my home office so that I can kind of get away from working at a kitchen counter or on a couch. I don't really like doing that. I like having a designated workspace. So I was coming here and getting frustrated because it was so dirty. And I just felt like I felt like there was no point in cleaning because I wasn't going to be able to keep up with it anyway. And I want to say it was like maybe last week or the week before that. I finally was like, you know what? Screw this. I am going to clean. I don't care if the next time my contractor comes over, it's going to get dusty and dirty again. It's going to be clean for right now. And that's good enough. I'm at least going to get ahead of it. And, you know, my bathrooms are getting remodeled right now. I can still use my sink. I can still use my toilet. So I wasn't like really deep cleaning anything. And finally I was like, you know what? I need to do this. And so I deep cleaned everything, wiped my office down because that's where my AC unit pretty much is the ceiling right above. So everything was covered in dust. I took everything off, wiped everything down, disinfected everything, vacuumed, which I was trying to do, but it was hard to keep up with. So my point is, like, even though I felt very overwhelmed with how messy everything was, and I felt like it was almost pointless to do it, after I did it, it felt so much better. Every time I come into my house now, like I feel it's just like a weight off my shoulders. You can feel the difference in my house with things being clean. And y'all know I'm a big fan of doTERRA. I am a wellness advocate with them. So, you know, you can always like purchase from me or whatever the case is. But they have a oil called Airx. And I put that in my diffuser almost every single day, as well as whatever kind of scent or any other flavor, I guess, that I want to put on there. But essentially that's the one. And it just really helps keep my house, like the air is just purified, and it's non-toxic. So it's not like I'm spraying like other brands, you know, that are really heavy with chemicals and stuff. It's just super natural. It just feels really good. So we'll go ahead and get into the spring cleaning part, but I wanted to share that, because maybe you have, you know, a part of your house, or maybe your house in general is, you feel like you are overwhelmed with whatever's going in and out of your house right now. Just do it. Just clean. Just, even though maybe the very next day a dust storm comes through your house, get ahead of it, because it will make that deep cleaning once everything is done so much easier, and you'll just feel better. I actually come into my house now, even though I know that both my bathrooms are under construction. I come in my house knowing, like, I feel relieved. Like, I'm like, oh, at least it like feels clean in here. It smells clean in here. Like, awesome. So getting into the topic of spring cleaning, I might butcher this last name. So I doubt that this woman will ever listen to my podcast, but you never know. Marni Amsellem, PhD. She's a clinical psychologist at Smart Health Psychology. She says she says, spring is considered the season of renewal, both in nature and in consumer or popular culture. After a long winter, we are eager to shed layers and activate. It feels good to do this in our homes as well. So I love that, because it's so true. It's so true. It's time to shed those layers and get going. Catapult into the rest of the year. Spring is that renewal. Flowers start coming back, pollen starts attacking all of us people who have really bad allergies. It's like beautiful, but also like you can't breathe while you're trying to enjoy it. So Studies show clutter distracts us and has been linked to procrastination. No duh. So having a cleaner, organized space means you can find your belongings easier. You might find you can concentrate better and think more clearly. So Bridget DeFiccio, I want to say DeFiccio. I feel like all the Italians out there are going to be like, oh my God. LPC says surrounding yourself in chaos like clutter or actual mess can actually impact your brain's ability to process information. This is how I was feeling before I decided to say, screw it, I'm cleaning my house. I don't care how chaotic it is right now. I literally felt like I was unable to focus on anything else because I would be sitting at my desk working and then be like, oh my God, but like my kitchen is not clean, or oh my God, like every time I go to the bathroom, it's just like such a mess in there. Like, and I can't really do anything about the construction stuff, but like I could wipe the counters down, you know? So by organizing and cleaning your environment, research has shown that you can actually become more productive, increase your ability to retain information, boost your concentration, and improve your critical thinking skills. I cannot tell you how true that is, because the moment that I stepped into my house after I cleaned up everything, like after I left and then came back, I was like, oh my God, this is a brand new home. Like this is a brand new house. And now me being back at my home office after everything is being clean, I feel like the last couple hours I've just been like nailed down, focused, ready to make things happen, to get work done. So it's been really great. You can also boost your mood. Studies have shown that clean sheets in an organized room can lead to a better night of sleep, which ultimately leads to a handful of mental and emotional health benefits, including an overall mood. We all know that sleep is a superpower. Like you need sleep in order to literally function, to do anything. Additionally, the Anxiety and Depression Association of America has noted that the actual physical activity of cleaning when coupled with a cleaner house can lead to a reduction in anxiety and overall depressive symptoms. Okay, so you clean your sheets, clean your house, you'll be less depressed. Okay, I try to clean the sheets once a week. If Doug was in charge of cleaning the sheets, I don't even know when they would get clean. Maybe like once a quarter. But for me, it's like Sunday morning, I get out of bed. The first thing I do is strip the bed and put it in the wash. I love the feeling of clean sheets. We have dogs, so dogs are on the bed, left and right. It makes me feel so much better having clean sheets. And I mean, I'm telling you, every time, and sometimes I know that there's like a joke on TikTok of like, oh, like you're just manic, like when you're cleaning everything. But honestly, like keeping your house clean can really help those overall depressive and anxiety symptoms. It really can, which leads to the next point. You can reduce your stress. By constantly looking at everything that needs to be cleaned, you can induce stress without even realizing it. Just like I said, I was sitting at my desk and I know that my house was a mess. So it was really hard for me to focus because every time I went into my bathroom to go to the bathroom, I was reminded about the chaos that is in my home right now. So if you minimize those visual cues, you can alleviate some stress. Reducing stress in your life is important. We all know this. We all work towards this. This is a big part of why I made this podcast, was to try to help people do that. Is it can potentially lead to other health conditions such as high blood pressure, and that is not what I want for you. That is not what you want for you. High blood pressure, gastrointestinal issues, anxiety, and depression. So one thing that you can do to reduce the stress in your life is just keep your environment organized and clean. It will also benefit your physical health, which impacts your mental health too. Experts have explained that not only can cleaning remove potential allergens such as dust, pollen, mildew, pet dander, but it can rid your environments of pollutants too, which can impact your immune health. In fact, studies have shown that people living in tidier homes tend to be in better health than those who live in messier environments. I definitely can agree and concur to that. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to be hard to do that, to keep your environment clean. So we know some of these benefits of spring cleaning, how it can help your mental health, how it can help your overall health. It can help your physical health. It can help you sleep. It can reduce your stress. Okay, so it's like, all right, Dara, like I get it. It can do all that, but how do I do that? So let's talk about some tips. Here are some tips to doing just that. Number 1, start small. Don't overwhelm yourself by trying to complete your entire house in one day. Instead, start with one area or your room. I know for me, I always start with my closet and then I let things roll from there. It actually shocked me because I started to clean out my kitchen and stuff as well too, because that was a place that I felt like I always overlooked. Like we're always purging our clothes. I feel like I'm always purging my clothes, but I'm not always purging like my kitchen utensils or like towels or whatever. We always go clothes first, but I purged my coffee cup collection. One day I was just like, I did not realize, like I had no idea how out of hand my coffee cup collection was getting. And it was hard to depart from some of them because it was like my mom had coffee cups made for my sisters and I a couple Christmases ago, but it was like when I had red hair. So I was like, this girl doesn't even look like me anymore. Like, I don't need this coffee cup. But at the end of the day, it was just a cup, you know? Unless, of course, you know, like if I had a coffee cup that my dad used to drink out of or something like that, like he never drank coffee. But if I did, I would totally have never thrown that cup away. But, the point is that like purging even stuff like that can really make a huge difference because then you open up that cabinet and it's more organized. You can see every cup that you have. You're also not constantly washing coffee cups because, you only have a few coffee cups to choose from. And it's like, I'm only one person. Why do I have 40 coffee cups? Like, I don't need that. Like, I literally have a different coffee cup every day of the month and then some. So I got rid of a lot of them. And I just donated them to like a church. Number 2, involve others. If you share a space with family or friends, you could utilize this as an opportunity to build better relationships. So you can come together and brainstorm creative ideas to spruce up your area or even identify objects that maybe are taking up space that can be gifted or donated, or if you have storage, you can put them in storage. I know that before Doug moves out of his house and into mine, I will be forcing him to go through his things. There are boxes that I have not seen him touch in the 2 years that we've been dating, like at all. Never touched them, just kind of sit in his closet. And I have things that just sit in my closet as well that are like memorabilia stuff. So I would never ask anybody to get rid of some of that stuff. But if it's like just silly things, we got to get rid of it. We got to purge some of that stuff before you bring it to my house. So it's one less thing we have to organize when it is here. So I'd rather do that beforehand than after. But same for my house as well. That's why I've kind of been starting the purge process, because I'm like, okay, like I've got a lot of stuff and a place for everything as me being one person who lives here. But now I'm going to have a whole other person living in my home. I need to like create space for his stuff as well, which means getting rid of some of my stuff. And we're going to get a storage unit, so it's a little bit different. And maybe your environment can be that way too. But still, like getting rid of some of that stuff to make space is going to make things, a lot easier. So involve others, whether it's your kids or your roommate, or if you live by yourself, ask somebody to help you. Ask someone, hey, come over, I'll feed you beer and pizza and just help me like purge this. That helps too. Number 3, this one is a biggie and has really helped me when I was doing like my purging or organizing or just cleaning in general. Set a timer. You don't have to dedicate days and days to the laborious task of cleaning. Instead, you can create time blocks of 30 minutes, 1 hour, 20 minutes, whatever you need, where your focus is on cleaning. No distractions, put your phone on Do Not Disturb, just rock and roll. When you fully dedicate your attention to the task at hand, you'll be surprised at how much cleaning or organizing you may actually accomplish. And it's not so much spring cleaning or purging, but when I do laundry, sometimes doing laundry for me gets extremely overwhelming because I put off putting my clothes away. I don't mind doing laundry, but folding and putting clothes away for whatever reason is something that I am still working on getting really good at. I always neglect putting the clothes away. So I started doing this when there was just one time when I had so much clothes, it was just overwhelming. And I just looked at the pile and I was like, had paralysis, I literally had like paralysis being like, I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. And I just said, you know what? I'm just going to set a 20-minute timer. And it shocked me how much of that pile I got done in 20 minutes because I put my phone on Do Not Disturb and I set it for 20. And when it went off, I was like, oh, wow, that didn't actually take that long to put that much stuff away. And then the next day I did 20 more minutes and then I was done. So it literally took me 40 minutes to put my clothes away. I don't want to talk about why it took me that long because I had so many, so many clothes to put away. But that was just something simple that showed me it really doesn't take that long to get a lot accomplished. So I really think setting a timer would be extremely helpful if you don't know like how long to go or what to, and that timer might go off and you might be like, no, I want to keep doing this, then fine. But at least it's like, okay, I'm going to dedicate this time to just do this. And then that's it. Last but not least, make it fun. Make everything in life has to be fun, right? You gotta try to find a way to make things fun, especially the mundane things. So have you ever considered blasting your favorite music across your speakers while dancing while you wash the dishes? Mr. Bubba Sparks is a great artist to have on as a soundtrack to your purging. A little purge and booty pop, could go a long way. Doing chores doesn't have to be such a chore if you incorporate tools that help you enjoy the task. So, spring cleaning can give you a sense of control. A lot of the time, life is chaotic, life is unpredictable, but if you control your controllables, you'll find yourself feeling calmer, more energized, see a decrease in your financial stress, and it may set other good habits in motion. So let's get to spring cleaning. You got this, friend. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Beyond Broken Hungry. If you aren't already, be sure to subscribe to Beyond Broken Hungry wherever you get your podcast so you can get notified every time a new episode drops. It would also mean the world to me if you rate, review, and share the podcast too, so more people can join the BBH tribe. Follow this podcast on social media at Beyond Broken Hungry to interact and see how I'm stumbling toward wellness one day at a time.